Another game, of course, we talked about the 124-94 blowout with the Oklahoma City Thunder beating up on the Minnesota Timberwolves last night. And I watched that game as they're heading out to the NBA Finals for the first time in years. And you got to give credit to that organization. But SGA does it again, man. He's averaging, I think it was 31 throughout the Western Conference Finals, been playing great throughout the postseason. Now the current MVP of the league, and he's funny because we don't often bring him up when we have these conversations, faces of the league, or who's the guy in the NBA right now. Yet he's done nothing but dominate last year, this year, averaging 30 on 50% shooting. Only Mike Jordan has done it as many times, and he's just been that great. And I was watching and I was thinking to myself, and man, SGA is so good, but one of the things I think that is hurting him, that is detracting from the greatness or folks' awareness of the greatness, is the success of the team. When you start to dissect some of these numbers, Rob, man, I think the team is actually hurting him in a bit. I'll tell you what I mean.
How did he win the MVP then?
No, because he's the best player on the by far best team. I mean, they had a huge winning season, franchise record season. And it's not a question of people know he's great. What I mean specifically is having those moments, elevating you, like those Halliburton moments, right? Like Jalen Brunson moments have had. And a part of it is not his fault. It's just how good and great the team has been. They had the highest regular season point differential. They were up basically winning by most games by 13 points. They had the best record against opposing conference ever, 29-1. They've had the fifth most regular season wins. We know that's 68. And if you look at this postseason, he's only having to play 36 minutes. Usually postseasons, your guy, the guy, he's playing 40, 41, 42 minutes a game because it's the postseason. We need you. And if he's playing an extra 5 or 6 minutes a game, well, those stats, 31, those go up to 34, 35. And also, because they're blowing everybody out, Rob, we sat up here and talked about, we started the show with you saying you had no interest in watching the game last night. He doesn't have to get a chance to have those Halliburton, Brunson moments. He hasn't had a chance to have the game down, they're down by 5, and he hits 2 threes to win it. He hasn't had a chance to have that epic, comeback often, because they keep blowing everybody out, which is a great thing for them, and that's why they're going to the NBA Finals. So you want this result, but I'm just saying, like, man, if they had a few closer games, if they had some more compelling series, we get to see him more and even more magical moments and have him show us even more of his greatness and how he's taking it to another level. And so it's not a bad thing. You want to get to the finals as fast as you can, as healthy as you can. So it's not a bad thing. It's just I was like, man, if he actually had closer games, if he actually had a chance where him and Ant were dueling it out in a game that mattered, that's how you get those marquee moments like Tyrese Halliburton has been able to have in the Eastern Conference, as well as Jalen Brunson, and he hasn't been able to have those moments. Now, he would sit here and tell you, I'll take it because I'm in the finals, but I'm just saying as a viewer, I was like, man, it would be even more awesome if we had those moments, those big shots, those game winners, those duels between he and Ant. And we kind of didn't get those. But, again, he's in the finals, so he ain't going to complain.
So give me Steph's big moments and how that took away from people thinking he's the greatest shooter of all time.
Steph has plenty of big moments.
No, he doesn't have them.
He doesn't have a singular shot, but he has plenty of.
No, and that's.
How many times I got to tell you about this third? What I'm saying with close games. No, I'm saying like dueling it out.
But are you talking about a shot? Is what I'm trying to say, and that's what you're talking about. Even in Steph Curry's case, is that there's no shot there.
Right, I agree with that.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, I think a lot of people still. They love the run that they were on. They ignore that Kevin Durant was the MVP and won those.
Nobody ignore that, do they?
Yes, they do. I
don't know how they ignore that. He was playing the best basketball in the world at that moment.
And those shots in LeBron's mug.
Yeah. Defense, we'd never seen KD locking up.
I don't know. I mean, sure, those moments are something that you could hold on to and people could remember.
But that's what I mean, like that KD moment.
But this is one run. Like he has a career. Like, I get it. But this is the NBA we also play in, with there are way more blowouts and bad lopsided games because if you don't shoot the three well, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And they're a good defensive team. So
they are. That ain't a question.
So I get that. And if you're a good defensive team, you're getting a lot of easy buckets off of turnovers and uncontested layups and, play action going the other way. I get it. But I just don't know what else he could do.
No, it's not. He can't do anything in the sense of we're just blowing everybody out. We're locking everybody out. Locking everybody up, I should say. But I just thought that thinking of it, like, man, that's how you kind of take it to, you get those matchups. Like you and I have set up here, and we have actually said, man, we owe the Pacers some credit, an apology. Nobody didn't really talk about it in the regular season. And then you got Tyrese Halliburton having these great moments that we've come on the next day or in real time watching it a couple times. You're like, man, look at this. He's clutch. He's having these game. Way to come back. Brunson did it during the Pistons series as well. And SGA just hasn't had to do that.
I get what you're saying, but I don't know. I don't know if I don't value him or what he's done or the season he's having. I guess if it was multiple years, maybe I would take a look at it and go, I mean, he still has a chance of doing that in a closer game against the Pacers or whatever in the finals.
I hope so.
And say he makes a shot or whatever, and that's how you build your, along with just being great and doing and playing well, but that's how you build moments that people remember and a shot that you made. I get that, but I think that comes in time. This is his first time on this stage, right? So I don't know if it was the first year. I'm trying to think of Michael Jordan, and you know what I mean when you start to make those shots. And
we got the right to left his first year against the Lakers. We got the jump up with the right, finished with the left moment. On the way there too, the next one you get the hitting all the threes in the first half and the little shoulder shrug. You know what I mean? And this is an optimistic point too. I'm hoping if it's the Pacers, which I think we both believe it will be, that we get a really good series and it's close and it's clutch and he's battling and dueling Tyrese Halliburton. I want that.
I hear everybody, like people, I want it to be good luck.
You want what?
Everything, the finals to be close and all that. Like it's just not that kind of NBA anymore. It's just not. I mean, there have been big comebacks because teams have built up, and those have turned into exciting finishes, right? They're not really nip and tuck games. They're 20-point leads, and then the other team doesn't do it. They keep shooting threes, whatever, and the teams have come back. So it's really the ending that you remember, right? Not the entire game that it's nip and tuck the entire way. It's just that the game becomes, when it's down to a possession or two, that's when we decide, like, wow. I don't even remember the game that the Pacers won and came back from 14 points with two. I couldn't even tell you any part of the first 3.5 quarters. Could you? I don't remember that game. I don't. Do remember the finish.
But that's all we need. That's what I'm saying. Like, we want more. We want the Reggie. You keep telling me I covered that game when Reggie Miller, the whole choke game. Like, I'm hoping we get some of those because I like SGA. I love the fact that he plays both sides of the ball. I love the fact that he is team. He's all about his team. That's all he is. Almost a fault where he keeps, instead of having his shining moment at the podium or answering questions, he always brings them up. These are my dogs. We the dogs. And he's about that. He's an amazing player. I'm glad he brought the mid-range back, and he's hitting the mid-range shots and drawing fouls and getting the free. Like, I love him in his game, and that's why I'm saying I would love for him to have these elevated moments where it puts him more in the spotlight, it puts him more in notoriety, and it puts him, oh, man, you see that shot? You hear? Man, he outdueled potentially Halliburton or potentially Brunson. And I'm looking for that for him because I think that's that thing that kind of takes you to the next level, especially, Rob, since his game isn't Anthony Edwards-like, or old kind of Giannis the last few years where he's dunking on people, getting in the hole, having these dramatic types of plays. That's not his game. I definitely think having those duels or having close games or him finishing games out would, just elevate his status. That's all. I think if he's the best player in the game right now, he's current MVP, having that extra little oomph to put around the stardom, I think the league would love it too.